You should subscribe to the Monaresclub. Because the Principal of Saiyans told you to, idiot.
Yo, what's good, guys? This is James bringing you another deck profile for the Monaresclub, youtube.com. Going to be going over my Android 21 deck list today. I've gone undefeated at this with locals. Nothing spectacular, but it's doing pretty well for the set 8 leader in 2021, so I just thought I'd bring this list to you guys. I know she's kind of a fan favorite, and people have been kind of fiending for some new lists with her using some of the new support. Before I get into it, though, I'd just like to ask you guys, if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button if you want to see more Dragon Ball Super content, more rogue decks, more gameplay, commentated gameplay, deck profiles, all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. So the leader for this deck is going to be Android 21. This is the evil one from the main set 8. She not the expert deck leader. She starts out with an Android 21 scheme field card in play. She can once per turn choose a clone token in an opponent's battle area, kill it, bounce up to one of their cards costing 1 or less, and then you draw a card, and then you get to untap 1 multicolor energy during your opponent's next main phase. Awaken it 4 or less, draw 2. On the back, she does the exact same thing. She's just a 15k, bigger, but she has the exact same activate main. Android 21 Scheme for the uninitiated. It's a field card. It has an auto once per turn. Whenever you or your opponent plays a non-token battle card, that card can't attack for the duration of the turn. This is an auto once per turn, which means it will trigger at the first opportunity it's given, so your opponent can try to blank the ability on this. You don't get to pick and choose. But it's still a nice form of disruption to make it so your opponent has to jump through hoops in order to attack with the battle cards that they want to attack with on each of their turns. It also gives your opponent 2 10k clone tokens with no combo power or combo cost into their battle area during each of their turns. Keep in mind, they cannot combo with these clone tokens because they don't have a combo cost, so there's no way for them to combo them away. They just have to kind of sit and play and let you accrue value with them. So this deck's kind of it's a slower kind of control mid-rangey deck, mid-range deck leaning toward control with some ramp stuff going on. So let's get into the rest of the deck here. So we'll start with our energy, because that's just kind of the building blocks for everything. We have this card from the Anniversary box, Super 17, Hell's Ultimate Weapon. We're playing 4 of them. This card's incredible for the deck. It's just, I was so excited when they dropped the spoiler for this card back in the Anniversary box last year. It's basically just a free energy for Android 21, because if your leader is a blue Android 21 card, it has its energy exhaust skill negated in all areas. And then he is also a backup win condition for the deck, because he's a 25k with an activate main for 7. You pay 7, play this card, and up to 3 Android cards with energy cost 5 or less from your energy area. So that's going to be one of our primary win conditions, going along with our 4 copies of Android 21, A Bad Omen. This comes into play for... you can play it from your energy for 2 blue, 2 green, play her, and then when you play her from your energy, you can choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, KO it, and then you crit one of their life. It just gets sent to the drop area. They don't even get it to their hand. So in the games where you're going to go for this win condition, you want to set up this in your energy, ideally have 3 of these in your energy, then you'll play this out, play all 3 of these, crit them for 3, and you'll have 4 25k beaters in play. Very, very strong. This is the card you're going to be wanting to put into your energy most often when it is available to you. We can get into the Unison stuff now. So we do have a new Unison for this leader, so now we can take advantage of some Unison cards. We've got Super Android 13 Never Ending Bloodlust. This was another card I was super stoked for when I saw the spoilers for Evolution Booster. I think this is one of the first spoilers they dropped for the set. And it dropped at like 6 in the morning, right when I was about to go to bed, and I was just too excited. I couldn't even sleep. I wanted to just brew up an Android 21 deck immediately. It took me a little while to actually get a functional list together where I felt the ratios were all pretty good, but this one's kind of feeling like it. So it's a specified 2-cost Unison, 14k. If you don't have him in play, you can play him for free from your hand in rest mode by eating one of your opponent's clone tokens. It has an activate main +2. You choose one of your non-leader... one of your mono blue leader cards, give it plus 5k power for the turn, and your opponent's clone tokens can't attack during your opponent's next turn. So this helps you with what was one of the primary weaknesses of the deck, which was you give your opponent a lot of cards to attack you with. which you can try and mitigate with sensu beans and the like, but this just completely fixes the problem where they can't ever aggro you out with your own clone tokens. And he also has an Activate Battle -4. This card gets plus 11k power and double strike, so he can also be a win condition, and the fact that this is an Activate Battle means you can wait to see if they counter your attack before you go into the Activate Battle. Incredible card. We do play a lot of Unison-focused cards in the deck, so I have considered playing... I've tried builds with 5 and 6 different Unisons with a couple of copies of different cards to back this card up, but it never felt super smooth, so I'm just playing 4 of these, and I just hard mulligan for this card every game, because you really just want to see this to turn on all of your other effects. To go along with the Unison, of course, we're playing God Sealing Technique Trunks, and we're playing 4 of them because we're a stall deck, and we really want to just keep our opponent off of all of their good plays as long as we possibly can. And to go along with that, we also have 4 of Android 18, Let the Battle Begin. This is also from Evolution Booster. This girl is spectacular. She's a 15k blocker, counterplay, play this card, then if the battle card being played has energy cost 4 or less, it's placed on the bottom of the owner's deck instead of being played. And then this card gets reduced down to a 1 cost during your opponent's turn if you have a Unison card in play. So, absolutely spectacular. Kind of garbage if you don't have your Unison in play, though, but... you know, it is what it is. That's why we just have to hard mull for our Unison. And then finishing out the Unison-centric cards, we have 2 SS2 Trunks Heroic Prospect. I only own 2 of this card, so that's what I've just been playing too. But space in this deck is like super tight. I'm playing 50 cards, including the Android 21 scheme, which was really hard to get the card count down to. You don't really need this card unless you're planning on playing against like a lot of like Dark Broly specifically is what it like mostly is there for. So if you see a lot of Dark Broly in your local meta, you'll definitely want to bump this up to 3 or even 4 copies, but I didn't want to have too many Unison-centric cards in the deck. We're already at 10 for 4 Unisons that are untutorable in the deck, so the 2's just been fine for me. Yeah, that's our Unison package. It's really nice that we finally get to take advantage of those sorts of cards with our leader here, and the fact that it's themed off of an Android 13 Unison, like, come on, what more can you want? It's so good. Alright, now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the deck. These are all of our androids. I'm playing a lot of them because I really like androids, so here we go. So this is the Android 18 Speedy Substitution. I've used this in all of my Android 21 deck profiles I've had on the channel. She's just fantastic. I've also used it in my Android 16 profile I've had on the channel. If you're interested in that, it's a similar strategy, but a little bit more aggressive, and it doesn't have any Unison focus in there. So if you want to check that out, you can also go ahead and check that out on the channel, but I digress. She comes into play, digs 5 for a blue or green android, puts it into your hand, and she also has this incredible auto that at the end of the turn when you play her, you can choose a card in your energy, a multicolor card in your energy, put it back to your hand, and then play a card from your hand in your energy. So what you want to be doing with this is when you draw these bad omens later on in the game, you can bounce your multicolor energy back to your hand, replace them with the bad omens, and then you just start getting these set up for the Super 17 Hell's Ultimate Weapon, so you can get 3 of these in the energy area, almost a drop area, energy area. And it's also really good to be bouncing back these Super 17s because they always come into play in active mode, so you can easily, if you just have 1 of these in your energy area, play this, grab whatever you want from the top 5, and then at the end of the turn, replace it with the Bad Omen, and then you have this to charge for next turn. It comes into play in active mode, so super, super clutch card. I love this card to death, and I can't imagine playing less than 4 of it. It's so good. Android 16 Energy Amplification, also a staple for the Android 21 archetype. Old heads know this card's incredible. Comes into play, ramps the top card of your deck. That's all it does, but damn, it's a really good effect still. This used to be what you'd really want to see on turn 2 in the deck, and kind of what your mulligan condition was, but now with all the Unison stuff, I feel like the deck's been good enough at slowing the game down, where you can just drop a couple of these later on in the game, and still be fine, so I don't mulligan, or I don't really... If I have a hand without a Unison, I just ship everything, even if it has this card in the hand, so still a very good card, though. Super combo is Android 18 Bionic Blitz. This card came out in set 9, right after the Android 21 leader came out, and this was a godsend for the deck, because it's a blue-green Android super combo, which means it's tutorable off of Android 18. It also has the nice little hand attack effect, which goes along really well with our next card, which is Android 16 Steadfast Comeback. This guy is also from Evolution Booster. I love this guy to death. He's tutorable off of Android 18, which is awesome. He's an arrival card, which goes well with the Android 18 Bionic Blitz. He's a revenge dual attack blocker, which is just like every keyword in the game, along with Arrival. So you can use him to pressure opponents' Unisons, as well as defend your own life points, and just kind of pressure their life total to try and get them down to that 3 life threshold to just auto-kill them with Bad Omen later in the game. He also has an ability where when he is comboed from your hand, or when you play him from your hand, your opponent discards 1. So that pairs incredibly well with Android 18 Bionic Blitz, and just multiple copies of himself. So even if you don't have the Bionic Blitz to Arrival one of these, say you just have 2 of these, they still have to discard 2 if you combo one and Arrival the other. It's super good. I could definitely see myself wanting to play a 4th copy of this card. It could get a little clunky, but I definitely could see myself wanting to play a 4th one. It's just finding room in this deck is an absolute nightmare. Like, you have to play so many different cards just to facilitate all of your different engines. Our other win condition, other than Hellstorm Unleashed, is Android 17 and Android 18 Siblings Revived. I love this card. My wife hates this card. Everyone hates this card if it resolves against them, but I love this card to death. It does everything. It's an 8-drop. You can't cheat it out. You just have to ramp to it using a couple of these. And ideally get it out around turn 6 if you can play 2 of these throughout the course of the game. Or turn 7 if you only find 1 of these and you can slow the game down enough. So it's a Deflect Double Strike Dual Attack. When it's played, you wipe your opponent's board, ignoring Barrier, and then at the end of the turn, if you somehow didn't kill them with the card, it restands an energy. So you can just defend yourself even if you're tapping out for your 8-drop. Then it also has an auto when it attacks. Your opponent reveals their hand, and you get to put 2 of their cards in their energy and rest mode from their hand. So, you take all their super combos out of there, their extra negates if they did negate the first attack of this, and they're just gonna die because it's a double strike dual attack, and worst case scenario, you wiped their board, and you get an energy back, and you take 4 cards out of their hand. It's a stupid good card. The other thing is you can choose any number of cards with the board wipe, so you can leave clone tokens in play if you want to do that to maintain your clone fodder, if that's what you want to be doing as well. Just something to keep in mind. I've got 2 Android 21 Scholarly Gambit. This is kind of a little mini combo with the Siblings Revived because it's a barrier blocker that you can play for free by eating a clone token. So you can play this the turn you're going to play these guys if you only have 8 energy. Play this out first to eat your 21 scheme trigger, and then these guys can attack the same turn you play them. So that's kind of something important to keep in mind, but it's also a barrier blocker with kind of a crappy father-son Kamehameha counterplay ability stapled to it. This card's kind of expensive and not the easiest to pick up. If you're looking for budget alternatives, you can play the Frieza from the set 8 that eats a clone and free plays itself, or you can play Cell if you want it to be tutorable. It's just the Cell requires 3 clone tokens to be eaten, which is kind of hard to hit sometimes, but that does make it tutorable off of this. So just some budget options for you here, because the rest of the deck isn't like super expensive for the most part. So that's our big core Android part of the deck. Again, like more of the Alliance I could potentially see, but you don't want to clunk your deck up too much either. So it's just some stuff to consider. Got our negates. I've got 2 Dimension Magic, 3 Sensu Bean. This is not that Sensu Bean's really a negate, but we have so many counterplays. We want to ideally just be stemming what our opponent can do altogether, and just stop them from even coming into play. So we don't play a ton of negates. We also play a lot of like arrivals, like we have our revenge blocker and stuff to help maintain our life total. And the scheme obviously helps slow them down as well. So we don't need a ton of negates. I like Dimension Magic because it helps you combo, like if you need to defend yourself, because you have a lot of 10Ks in your deck, this helps you to get your energy back if you are like really tight on trying to combo and defend. And it just hard stops the attack, whereas Sensu Bean can be useful to combo with like your Arrival card as well, which can be nice. But just playing this kind of weird split of them, because there's like hardly any room in the deck. Obviously, I'd play 4 of each of these if I could, but gotta make concessions where I can, and this numbers felt fine. And lastly, we have our messing with the camera there. Got our Blast from the Past here, Piccolo, Assimilated Ability from Draft Box 4. This card used to be $1 million. Do you remember that? This card used to be like $80 a copy. Now they're like almost nothing because no one plays them anymore. But damn if it isn't really good. This card's still insane. I've won so many games just off the back of this card. it's stupid. He's if you don't know what he does, because you're probably newer to the game if you don't know what he does, because this guy was the bee's knees a couple of years ago. So he's a 20k barrier for 4. You don't have any way to cheat him out, but we ideally will be ramping him out and playing him on turn 3. And then he has an activate battle once per turn, bond 2. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 5 or less and KO it. And if you KO'd a card, you draw a card. So keep in mind you can't KO clones to this effect, unfortunately, because clones don't have a cost, so they don't cost 5 or less, which is unfortunate. But this helps you just completely hose your opponent's board. Like one of the locals I took this to, I played against like Bojack round 1, and he just couldn't keep a single battle card in play. And then I played against like Mechi Cabra round 2, and he just like the shrooms and the salsas and the poutines, everything, it just gets killed and you get advantage for it. It's also activate battle once per turn, and it doesn't have to be just on your turn. So you get to do this ideally once every turn cycle. You just have to have bond 2. And the old school combo with this was to do this. A lot of blue-green decks played this, not just Android 21, but if you get like the best opener for this card, you can play this on turn 2, and then ideally it sticks around, and then you can play Piccolo out on turn 3, and this sets up the bond for you automatically, so you have the bond set up already. Obviously, Speedy Substitution's also good at holding up bond, and 21 Scholarly Gambit is also surprisingly really good with this card, because she's a barrier blocker that you can play for free, and it just gives you 2 cards in play with barrier that are just super hard to deal with because they have barrier, so then you have bond up forever. Like, even if they mass Saiyan your board, you still have bond. Super good. Suffice to say, this card has like really overperformed for me. I definitely recommend you try it out if you haven't given it a shot in Android 21 in a while, because you think, the meta is just not that good for it anymore. I definitely think it's coming back around to this card being great. It sucks against Dark Broly because you can't hit 6 cost cards, but it's so good against everything else. It's just blown my mind. It's also good because this is the only green battle card we have, the only mono green, at least, battle card we have in the deck. So if we want to Arrival and we don't have one of our super combos, this paired with any blue battle card can get us an Arrival for 0 energy. So something to keep in mind. But yeah, that's the deck profile, guys. It's very fun. It's very nostalgic for me because I've played this leader since she came out in set 8. RIP to our original win condition 8-drop, but this new one is absolutely incredible. The Arrival, this guy's just stupid good, and yeah, I feel like this deck's finally. It took me a lot of testing, a lot of tweaking. And I checked out Rohit's deck profile he had on Crossworld TCG, which was a big inspiration for me to try and put this deck back together again, because I've been playing a lot of Android 16, because it just felt smoother. But his deck profile helped me get a lot of the ratios down, and this has just been running really smooth. And yeah, it's just been awesome and super fun. So if you like Android 21, I definitely recommend giving it a try. Again, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new. You can just see all of our new content when it gets posted. Hopefully some gameplay with this deck and other rogue fun decks like that. I like to just bring garbage to locals and then profile it after I do reasonably well with them. So yeah, thanks for checking us out, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.